Hello and welcome. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on ChatGPT. I want to really help you and all of my friends to really understand the capabilities of ChatGPT. We're going to be going over all of the examples for each of the different things that it can do, and hopefully after this video you'll have more confidence in your use of ChatGPT and your desire to hopefully explore this world, start you along this journey with AI. All of the different noise and things that people are saying about it, when it comes down to it, the real basics of it is what I want to go over today and how you can start using it. Let's talk about ChatGPT. That is one of the biggest models out there. Everything that I do in ChatGPT, you can do similarly in all of the other AI models. And so as you go through and maybe hit a limit in ChatGPT as far as what it can do with the free account that you want to do, go ahead and explore other models. To start with, I want you open up your computer, go to chatgpt.com. It's going to ask you to sign in, and it's really advantageous to sign in because after you sign in, it will begin to remember the conversations. It will give you access to more tools. Go ahead and sign in. Use your Gmail account or create an account with ChatGPT. After you sign in, this is what your screen is going to look like. It's going to have where should I begin? It's going to have the three buttons on the chat side, open sidebar, new chat, and then the different models. Over here, turn on a temporary chat window. This would mean that it wouldn't save all of your windows. This is the settings button. So if you click on settings, you can upgrade, personalize, go into settings. One of the main things that is a setting that you want to pay attention to is in personalize, and it's reference save memories. By default, this is going to be turned on, and so it's going to refer back to your conversations and be able to pull up what you're talking about. If you want to personalize it, this is also where you can do it. Tell it what ChatGPT will call you, what do you like, how you want it to interact with you, what traits should ChatGPT have, and so you can adjust how it talks to you through this window as well. Now let's go the buttons that you see in the middle. You can add photos, files, be able to give it more context. If you have a Word document or something else that you want to reference, you can do that by clicking on this here. Tools, these are some of the different things that you use the ChatGPT for. Go ahead and create an example in each one of those. The button here to dictate, that is an option that I'm probably going to be using a lot throughout the tutorial, just to speak in my prompts instead of typing them. So we've gone through the layout of the screen. We will go through the examples more of what you're seeing here. We'll go ahead and open the sidebar because we are logged in. We have access to the sidebar. In the sidebar, we see new chat. That's what we have open here. We can search our chats. Library would show you all of your images and anything that you've created here. Sora, video creation, and all of the tools with Sora. We will talk a little bit about custom GPTs, what they are, and how they can help you. Somebody has created a database, and you can use that database that they've created to serve for that function. So now let's go through some examples, and I'm going to show you how I use ChatGPT most of the time and what are some examples of each of the different buttons. For today's tutorial, I'm going to basically do what is, I think, the most helpful thing when you're looking at using the AI, and whatever you're trying to do, I first ask ChatGPT how it would recommend I do that, and then use that information to accomplish the task. As a Christian, what are 3 examples of how I would use the image creating portion of ChatGPT? Now I'm going to ask it to give me 3 prompts to give each one of these examples. Can you give me 3 prompts, one for each of the examples that you've presented up above, that I can then plug into the image creator to create those images? And then I'll go ahead and give that prompt. So now instead of it just giving the example, it's now giving me the scene of what I want. And so if I was going for a specific purpose or a specific goal, I would want to go through and look at this and say, is this exactly what I want? And then edit it or ask the ChatGPT to edit it. So I'm going to just take this as an example, and I'm going to copy that and then go into Tools, create an image, and then I'm going to paste that in there and have it create that image. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for the first one, which is Bible illustration, Moses parting the Red Sea. And it's saying dramatic. So let's go ahead and have image create that image. And the time it takes to create images is going to be a little bit more than what you see on camera. So I gave it the prompt, a dramatic scene of Moses standing on a rock with arms raised, parting the Red Sea. Towering walls of water rise on both sides of him, the Israelites rocking on dry ground. And this is the second image that it created. Third image, I'm going to have it create it. I've walked you through the process of figuring out how to create a prompt for an image using ChatGPT to ask it the question. And this can be tailored to whatever your need is for that image. I do this for most things that are not text-based. I just ask it to help me create the prompt, and then I refine it through a conversation with ChatGPT. Hopefully gives you an idea of the capability of the image generator. To continue on, we're going to take on the next tool, an example of what searching the web would do. So just like I did with the images, I'm going to ask ChatGPT the same question. What are some of the reasons that Christian would use the feature to search the web in ChatGPT? Can you give me 3 examples? So I asked it for 3 examples of why somebody would search the web. So one of the reasons would be finding current events related to Christianity, locating local church events or services, verifying the accuracy of religious news or claims. And so then you can take any of these prompts and then let's go ahead and see if it will automatically, if I plug it in here, I want to be what recent laws have religious freedom in, let's say, California. And then let's go ahead and hit OK. Is it going to search the web? Yes, it automatically is going to search the web because it's asking for something recent. And whenever you use the search the web, it's going to give you the links of where on the internet it's finding these things. So if you want to check their source, just click on it and it'll take you directly to the article that it's pulling the information from. There are many people that are using ChatGPT to do web searches instead of Google just because it gives you the information right here and it pulls up the specific websites that you can verify their sources. So searching the web is a very powerful feature as well. Write code in Canvas. I'm going to do the same thing that I've done for the previous examples and just go ahead and ask ChatGPT. What are 3 examples that a Christian would use the code creation tool in GPT? So here it's giving me a Christians would help run a church to improve their website, Bible verse app or widget, donation platform for integration. So we take this prompt here and we go into tools, write code, and then we paste that in. So right here, it's going in and creating the code that generate JavaScript code for a widget that displays a random Bible verse from prediction. And so this is an example that for most of you and myself, creating code isn't going to be something that you're going to be doing, but I'm just showing you here what it does, going through the same tools. What it's doing here in Canvas mode, that I will show you a little bit more of, because instead of just having a chat, it has the ability to type in, which for Korean is invaluable. The main thing I would pull from this example is the Canvas mode that it showed you. So in the next tool, I'm going to show you more of Canvas mode and how that works. And that's going to be probably the main feature that most of you will find very fascinating about what this is doing here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to run a deep research. It only gives you 5 as free. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing that I've done for all the other examples. I'm going to say, what are 5 reasons that Christians would use deep research in ChatGPT? And then I'm going to go ahead and have it search for that. And so now it's going to give me the 5 reasons. So the 5 examples that it gave me was biblical and historical accuracy, understanding cultural and legal issues, theological comparisons and debates, Christian living and ethics, apologetics, and evangelism. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the first example, biblical history and accuracy, and then I'm going to take that example and I'm going to copy it. All right. So I'm going to start a new chat. So I'm going to ask it specifically, I want you to create an in-depth prompt to run a deep research on the following topic. And so I'm starting a new chat to create the prompt that I'm going to run through deep research. And then I'm going to paste in the idea it gave me there of provide a well-sourced summary of the Council of Nicaea, including its background, major theological decisions. And so because I started a new chat, it's now creating a deep research prompt that has bullet points and major theological decisions. So here's an example where I'm going to take Canvas mode and begin to interfere with it a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and edit in Canvas mode. This is a feature that I think is really powerful that we're pulling out from the coding tutorial. And so here you can see historical background, what political religions. And so now I can type in here, or I can ask questions about this and adjust it in any way. So if I want to add to it, be like, I can either go in here and actually add 5 and start typing, write something, or I can just ask ChatGPT and say, can you add a 5th element that includes really practical application of how this information would be useful today? So then I'm going to add a 5th element, and so it should come in here. So it's leaving everything the same, but it's beginning to edit this document, and it should come down to the 4 and then start typing at the 5. And so because I give it that prompt, and so now it's going to be contemporary application. How can theologies... And so it added that component. And if I wanted to go into here and do any more edits or adjust it in any way, if you can't tell already, you can use this for most any document to either have ChatGPT interact with the document or edit it or do whatever you want, both through conversations or through actually typing. That is a really powerful use of Canvas mode. For most of us, this is probably going to be a whole lot more useful than creating code, unless you do create code. So now I'm going to take this deep research prompt that I like. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to create a new chat. And then I'm going to click here and run a deep research, and I'm going to paste that in, deep research prompt. And so it's going to take all of that, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit send. The first time you put a deep research prompt in, it's going to read it, and then it's going to ask you a few questions before it actually runs it. So then it asks to create a well-sourced and academic rigorous summary of the Council of Nicaea. Could you please clarify the desired length? And I'm going to say, let's do a detailed report, include direct citation and biblical style report. So I answered its questions. You can also adjust it in any way that you want here. And then I go ahead and send, and then it starts research. This will take sometimes up to 5-10 minutes. And so while it's doing that deep research, I'm going to go ahead and create a new chat. So we just ran the deep research. What kind of plans can you help me make as a Christian using the make a plan button in ChatGPT? So then I'm going to take the very first one here, daily reading plan, and I'm going to copy that in new chat and say make a plan for daily Bible reading plan. Give me 3 different topics that I can make this plan with, and ask it to, can you build me the number 3 option, Wisdom for Life plan? Then I'll go ahead, week 1. So here's an example of the plan that it created. Week 1, week 2, it says I just completed the comprehensive analysis. Week 3, week 4, and then tips for each day. So because this plan was given very limited information, if you want to create a more in-depth plan, obviously the more context you give it, the better it will be. My next video that I will be creating on how to create a prompt will really help you develop the ability to create better feedback. And so now that I created the deep research, let's look at the deep research. So as you can see here, the deep research, I will say that as I've done deep researches with the next tier plan, they do have a little bit longer in length. So that may be one of the features that will attract you. If you start doing a lot of deep research, and you may be a reason to get Plus if you really like the deep research and what it comes out with. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to summarize it. Can you summarize the deep research paper that you did and give me an outline of the topics that we talked about? So here's an outline of the topics that I talked about. Historical background, major theological decisions, influence on early church, sources, contemporary application, strength of Christian's identity, apologetic regard to Christ's divinity, and that gives you I think that gives you an idea of what deep research can really do. So let's go back to new chat. We are now into brainstorming, and the same thing that I've done is, what are 3 examples that a Christian could use to the brainstorming feature in ChatGPT? So it's saying here, prompt example, brainstorm 10 creative ideas. So let's go ahead and do a new chat, and let's take that first example that it gave me, brainstorm 10 creative sermon series titles and examples. And so it gave me, follow me the discipleship journey in John, rooted abiding Christ from the upper room, the signs of growth, come and see encounter that transforms, light walkers living in the light of Christ, I am no Christ growing in him, the way of Christ. And so from there, you can see it gave you 10 examples of a sermon that you can start exploring and going into further. Some of these are sermons that I would actually like to listen to. So going back to the chat, analyze data. Let's do the same thing for analyze data. What are 3 examples that a Christian could use the analyze data feature in ChatGPT? So here's the examples: church attendance, Bible study, groups, charity and missions fund analysis. So I think I've given you a really good example of how not only do I use the tools in ChatGPT, but how I really use ChatGPT to help me use ChatGPT. Using your own context and for whatever you're trying to do, it's an excellent place to get started. As I've demonstrated over and over again, whatever you're trying to do, ask ChatGPT how to do it. It's going to give you a great place to launch out from. We can click on the library and it's going to pull up all of the images. Let's take a look and see what that image produced. Oh, wow. This is the image that I produced. Truth, faith. That's a really cool image. So hopefully by this point in the video, you have a clear understanding of ChatGPT's capabilities and really your ability to grow and learn with ChatGPT. So many of the prompts that I've given it, this whole tutorial was really twofold. One, to show you its capabilities, but also to show you that as you're growing and learning and understanding more of the AI world, one of the best teachers on how to use AI is AI, which is very unusual, and it's definitely a new way to think. And so hopefully through this, you can be able to expand your mind and really understand that it's not just about learning how to say the right thing, but it's learning ourselves how to think and how to ask questions. And a lot of times we need to go through a conversation with someone or even with the AI on how to ask the question and how to rephrase it, maybe putting it into canvas mode or just having a conversation back and forth of why you're not getting the results that you're getting or where it's pulling the information. And in the next video, we're going to go into prompt engineering and go into this idea a whole lot deeper of how do you get it to understand what it's thinking and how it's going to process information, and for you to understand that in a deeper way. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. Hopefully this helped you to really level up your AI game and maybe understand a little bit more of what the whole hype is behind the AI. Thank you very much.